Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Tigers.
Today is February 14th, Valentine's Day.
We have a few short announcements followed by a sports package and video pack. A sports course and a video package.
Notchgay Hop Round Dance will be held tonight from 5 to 8 p.m. in the high school gym and lunchroom. There will be specials and other activities.
Applications for Big Paw, Little Paw mentoring programs are due to Miss C-Card by the end of the day today. Interviews will be scheduled soon.
The boys basketball team took on Luther at home, but they fell short in the end with the final score being 91-63.
That's all for Pop Front Live.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Evie. Have a great day, Tigers.
So how did you and Hazel first meet?
I went to a place that she was at with a friend of mine.
We were just hanging out, and we were all friends with Tanner Wood at the time. And we invited Tanner over, and Tanner's a really big jokester, so he asked if his cousin, Eric, could come over. We're like, yeah, sure, more the merrier. Come to find out, Eric is not Tanner's cousin. And then, yeah, Eric and I hung out that night, and then I asked anybody if they had his Snapchat, and Peyton had it, so she sent it to me. And then the next night, he invited me to his shop, and we all hung out at the shop with all of his friends and some of my friends. And then Tanner kind of set us up. Tanner was really rooting for us. So, yeah, that's how we met.
And what was your first date like?
We just hung out at the shop and talked and got to know each other.
But I think for like a first date, probably just honestly going to his shop, because that night we got to really get to know each other.
How did you and Sherelle first meet?
So we first met just like in school and stuff and started talking then.
So we first met by like my friend, her ex-boyfriend. They were like really close friends. And while they were dating, I kind of took interest in Spencer. And I kind of had my friend kind of like bring him up around her ex-boyfriend, and then that's kind of like how we kind of like started hitting it off. Kind of like we noticed each other a lot more.
So what would you say your and Sherelle's first date was?
I'd say our first date was at Cinco de Mayo. That was like last spring sometime. Don't remember the exact date.
Me and my friend, her ex-boyfriend, and then Spencer, we all played basketball together. And then we went to Culver's. We had other people there too, so I wouldn't really say that was like a one-on-one date. But then the next time it was just him and I, and that was at Cinco. So I guess you say that was like our first date.
So yeah, how did you and Larissa first meet?
So we first met in softball, actually. I was a third baseman, and she was a really good hitter, so we kind of joked around on the bases a little bit. But then she came after swimming practice to like a volleyball game, and then we just liked each other ever since, I think.
We met during softball season when I was 12 or 11 years old.
So what do you think your first like official date was?
At Cinco de Mayo. We love Cinco de Mayo. We always go there all the time.
Our first date, we went swimming with her older brother and his ex-girlfriend. It was a fun day. Afterwards, I went to her house, and after our first date, she asked me to be her girlfriend.